These two apps have not only helped me out with my reptile breeding projects, but also my reptile keeping in general. They're very nice, very fine, good stuff. Let's roll the intro. Now, as most of you guys know, I own quite a lot of reptiles. I think we're pretty much in the over 100 or just under 100 animals. I'll have to do a recount later, you know, you lose track. Babies are popping up out of eggs, they're going home, the number, it's like the stock market, it's just up and down all the time. You know, a lot of you guys ask me, Dakota, how do you take care of this large collection when you have so many animals? Now, I did go over, this video right here. My old method was that I was just doing whiteboards, making charts, making sure I'm like listing down supplements, vitamins, calcium, D3, things like that on different days. Different animals get fed on different days. It was all sectioned out, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty complicated, I'll be honest. Having to, just that extra step of going to the whiteboard, making sure that everything's written down. If I accidentally didn't write it down, now it's not there. There's missing links. Every week you have to erase it, redraw the lines. I guess I could have taped the lines, but, it was a lot of work. I guess that's what I'm trying to emphasize right here. Not to mention my breeding projects. Now, with breeding reptiles and just having, just one project, it would be a lot easier, if I was just doing ball pythons, crested geckos, etc. My life would be a little bit easier, but nope. I decided to do 6 different projects. We have crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, Mexican black king snakes, gargoyles. Did I say gargoyles? Ball pythons, tokay geckos. There was another, a lot of projects are happening at DVCB Exotics. And it really became a huge pain for me, trying to figure out how to organize this all into one spot. But hey, that's when I found Reptile Buddy. Now, before we get started with this, I just want to make a quick disclaimer. I am not sponsored by the 2 apps that we are going to be talking about today, but, if they were to maybe see this video and be like, this guy's pretty cool, maybe we do want him to be our sponsor, or them be my sponsor, I would DBCB Exotic, DM me, guys. Yeah? Now, Reptile Buddy has been a lifesaver for my breeding project. This app is wicked cool. It's pretty much is a listing of every animal that I have, although that part did take me a while because of how many animals I own. But this app has been great. So after probably a few hours of me using it, I categorized all my animals, and it goes into real detail. We're talking here, let's just bring up a quick example right now. So for instance, let's just put up my Chinese water dragon. So with the Chinese water dragon, let's focus in on it. Will it focus in? That's not very good. But anyway, I'll put some B-roll right here. With the Chinese water dragon, we're able to have, Chinese water dragon, the picture right there, what sex it is, while also having any history that you have with him, who the parents were, how old he is, with right there, and his age, and then also, why am I so orange right now? What's happening? Why it made me so orange. Why would it do this? Oh no. Okay, that's better. That was weird. Anyway, go into real detail with it. You're able to have a picture of the animal, what the animal's name is, how old it is, how much it weighs, what's the sex, the history, what the parents are, just some great detail that goes into all of this. And then also now we have what my no group would be. So this is stuff like my skinks, my water dragons, pretty much most of my pets. Well, I'm also able to go into further detail of this and put mine in groups. So I have my ball pythons, my crested geckos, my monitor lizards, my tokay breeders, things like this, which really made it easy, tracking everyone. Here's what I really enjoy about the Reptile Buddy app, and that is going to be when you go into the breeding projects section. Now, unfortunately, when I found this app, I'm pretty much almost done with my breeding projects, so the list is pretty short. However, I still do have a couple of breeders going, like my crested geckos and some of my tokay geckos that I've paired, and this gets really in detail. So we can look here with the app, we have all my projects, and we'll click on the 2020 crested gecko, my lavender/tricolor Dow. I'm able to list what my male is, what the female is have both those informations that we did when we cataloged the animals. Then going down, we have some cool stuff. This is going to be where the eggs would be. So as soon as you find the egg, you list that into the app. So for instance, this egg was laid on August 7th, 2020. She laid me 2 eggs, and it has an expected app. So usually, crested geckos take around 90 days, so I put that they would hatch somewhere around November. That way it's pretty cool. I believe it gives you an alert. I haven't had this long enough to actually give it me an alert, but I think I heard that it does give an alert. Not only that, we also have a second section right here where we're going to be able to show where the eggs were laid, how many slugs I get, and how many babies have actually hatched out. Plus listing, what eggs ended up being infertile later on in the laying. Now, ball python people, you guys are gonna love this even more. It also has a possible breeding outcome. Now, I'll be honest, I think it is mostly ball python mutations that's cataloged in this app. You do have the opportunity, or not the opportunity, you have the option to list your own mutation. So like for crested geckos, there's really nothing, so I had to list the morphs myself. However, most ball python morphs are on here. So you're able to do, let's say, just a normal to a pastel. You'll get a 50% pastel, 50% normal that would show up on this possible breeding outcome list. Honestly, this app has been amazing for me. I haven't seen any problems with it so far. The active breeding projects list is a huge lifesaver, me categorizing everything that I need to do, and all in all, I think it's a really great app. Just as a disclaimer for this app, it is still in beta mode. Really, when I got the app, I'll be completely honest, I really got this app for my feeding schedule. I wanted it to be a little easier to jot down calcium supplements when I fed my snakes, when I fed my geckos, blah blah blah. Unfortunately for me, I didn't realize until, after the fact that I cataloged everyone into this app that right now this app is in its beta form. So with that being said, it only is able to jot down 1 feeding schedule right now. In order to get more of the feeding schedule, or as many feeding schedules as you want, you'll have to upgrade to the Pro feature. However, that's not available yet. Hopefully in the coming days, this app will get a little bit more popular to the fact where they'll add a Pro edition, so then I'll be able to list all of my feeding schedules into one app instead of separating it into 2. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Dakota, did you just make this entire video so a lot of people would go on the app and that way they'll get a Pro feature so you don't have to go into another app and waste the 7 hours that you wasted listing and cataloging every one of your 80+ reptiles? Come on, guys. Do you really think I would use my own fan base as a way to project this thing into getting what I need, which is the fact that me not wanting to list more than 80 animals and cataloging it into another app? I wouldn't do that. Come on. Maybe you should download the app. Give it a 5-star review. I worked for 7 hours cataloging these animals. Oh. Friday, chalk it up, Reptile Buddy, a great app, goes into some pretty good detail and makes my breeding projects a lot easier for me to, jot down and have onto one source. However, this isn't just one app review, we're gonna be talking about 2 wraps. I'm contemplating if I should do a really bad wrap after this. I think I'm too white, honestly. I think I'm too white to pull it off. Now, what have us as hobbyists been asking for years now? Man, Facebook, that just sucks. PETA, they're totally cucking us with our not being able to buy animals anymore. Oh my god, Instagram, it's owned by Facebook. The same thing's gonna happen. Why is there not an app so where I can see reptiles and buy them? Well, I got news for you, bucko. iRept. iRept? iRept. Let's talk about it. Yes, it has finally come. The reptile gods have answered our prayers. There is finally an app for reptile lovers to purchase reptiles. Back in my day, we had to go through forums to get our reptiles. You guys even know what kingsnake.com is? What fauna is? I bet you don't. Unless you're looking for really old world rat snakes or anything like that, you're probably never even heard of fauna. It's a new age, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. They got apps now. iRept is pretty cool, I'll be honest. I don't know why Morph Market hasn't decided to do a mobile app yet. Maybe they're working on it, it's just not out. But iRept seems pretty cool. Now, full disclaimer, again, this is disclaimer number 3. I haven't been on iRept very long. I haven't looked too much in its interface and really dived into it, but so far from what I've seen, it's a pretty cool app. Now, when you go to the Play Store to click on this, I think this was a Korean-made app, so all the stuff's going to be in Korean. It's actually the reason why I didn't buy this app first, but I think Tiki's Geckos was the one that shouted it out and got me to actually pay attention to it. So there is a USA function, so you're going to download it. It's all going to be in Korean. You can switch it to USA, and there's some pretty cool stuff. Now, it's still pretty light as far as breeders go. Let's just see here, right here, we have some crested gecko, or for the USA market, we have crested geckos, Leachianus geckos, ball pythons, colubrids, leopard geckos, etc. It's a lot of etc., I'll give you that, but come on guys, we finally have an app where you can just buy reptiles. I'm clicking on this right now and it looks pretty cool. It actually does have a lot of a morph market feel to it. You just have to click on the USA function, hit whatever breeder or whatever species you want to look at, and they list all the breeders that have been putting on this page. Personally, I'm not on this page yet just because I'm sold out of animals, so I am going to be having more animals here in a couple of weeks where I'll photograph them and then I'll actually apply to be a breeder for this app. But it's pretty cool. It's a nice little simple way to check out animals. You can say let's chat, it says the number, blah blah blah, give some free or some short information about it. It works pretty well. But here's the thing. This isn't just an app to buy reptiles. It also has a community tab. Yes, it is pretty much a nice little app where you can buy reptiles while also talking to other people about their reptiles. Of course, it always automatically goes to Korean, so I keep having to switch it whenever I go on a new thing. But so there is an iInteract, a breeder site where you can see all the breeders. Holy shit, man. They're like paving my road and my house is vibrating right now. Yeah, there's also a community tab. You can show off some pictures of your guys', some holdbacks, maybe some breeders. It's pretty much as a, you know, whatever it's called, kind of like the Facebook thing, so you can like pictures, or maybe I feel like it's more like Instagram than Facebook, but yeah, there's people that can see it, how many have liked it, commented, things like that. All pretty cool, right? But wait, there's more! Billy Mays should be right here. There's more! It also has a catalog function. This is where you can put your babies and listing all the information. It's pretty much the same as Reptile Buddy. I'm able to have the sex of the animal, how much it weighs, what were the parents, when it hatched, blah blah blah, species, pretty etc. However, this gets to go into a lot more detail, and I feel like it is a little more for the breeder oriented, but it can also work very well for the reptile keeper themselves. Pretty much you can have a weight, what is it called? Weight data form, I think that's the word, where you can start jotting on how much weight your gecko's gaining, what date was it when you weighed this much, how much did it grow in that function, but also, I don't know why it's labeled care sheet. It's a little bit weird of a phrasing, but the care sheet option takes you to this calendar. Now, when you click on the calendar like so, you're able to jot down quickly, you know, what happened on this date. So for instance, I fed the animal at this date. It got this calcium powder, all right. This calcium powder, and you know, it ate so-and-so, dubia roaches, crickets, the crested gecko formula, blah, 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 and you write it down. And then it will clip it onto the date. So for instance, on the 19th, I fed them. There's that little feed icon, and then if I click on the actual date, it'll tell me exactly what I fed. That's pretty cool, man. I'll be honest. This is exactly what I was looking for. I haven't put all the animals on it again because I'm not joking, man. I'm not like, oh, it really took me 2, but I'm gonna say 7. It took me 7 hours. I started this at like 10 o'clock. And I didn't get done till like 5 categorizing 80 animals, man. I don't know if I can do it again. Yeah, all in all, it's a pretty cool app. I can't wait to get some more babies so I can actually apply to be a breeder and have my logo and everything addressed on there. But iRept, super cool if you are interested in buying reptiles, having a reptile-only community app sort of thing where you can show off your animals, or keeping a nice little detailed, almost diary, that's what it's called, the diary function of what your animals are growing, what you're feeding, etc. All in all, pretty cool app. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. We got it down. 2 apps that have saved my life with keeping reptiles. They've been a very big help. I'd no longer have to use a whiteboard, and my hands will never be stained with the dry erase markers. But now it's your turn. Leave me a comment in that comment section on what do you thought, you know, what do you think? Are these apps, are you gonna, let me know if you download the apps. I wanna see how many people found this video and were like, this app looks pretty cool, I wanna get into it. So leave me a comment there. Also leave me a comment on what apps you use. Do you use any apps personally? Maybe you already use the iRept or the Reptile Buddy app. Let me know. Put it in the comment section. Let's roll that outro. If you liked the video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of my animals or my breeding products, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, DVCB Exotics. We're also on TikTok as well. You like some merch like this? This is merch. This is a corn shirt, but our merch is this one, and this one right there. All pretty cool stuff. You can find that at the description down below where, hey, we also have Patreon. Patreon.com/DVCB Exotics. Where you're able to see premium DVCB Exotics. Fuck. I was going so well. I was trying to see how fast I can make the intro, but I was just, got tongue-tied. You can see some premium content like animals I get before anyone else gets to see them, which, by the way, we do have a new animal coming. Patreon guys, you guys already know what it is, but you just regular viewers, oh, you'll have to wait. I think I have a lot of videos already, so I think it's gonna be pushed to next week. I wait a whole week, my God. It's pretty cool stuff. There's a bunch of different tiers for a bunch of little folks, different folks, starting as little as $1 a month. $1 a month, what is that? That's a McChicken, that's a McDouble. Can you make that sacrifice? One McChicken a month to help support DVCB Exotics and get premium content. I probably wouldn't do it, but hey, if you decide to do it, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much that your name's actually gonna be right here, right on the outro. It's happening. We're blowing away. Check it out.